Good morning to you. Sorry, afternoon. Just showing you here my cold air return that is going outside to my solar collector, which heats the air. I don't know if I'll be able to actually film the collector itself. It's fairly cold out, and the camera doesn't seem to like to work out in the minus 25s. So anyway, it goes in there and it comes out here, and it's just 5-inch, which goes into just a duct blower fan. It's a 120 volt duct blower fan, and then just into an elbow to kind of steer it down. And you'll notice I have a thermometer tucked in there, and we're sitting at about 22 degrees on that thermometer. It's not a real powerhouse, that blower fan. It's just kind of a subtle blow. It's not real loud or anything. And the power for that blower fan actually just runs down here to this timer. In the winter time, I don't get a good shot of sun on my collector until around noonish, which isn't many hours of wasted sun. Trust me, the sun's coming up late and it's going down soon. So I just have my my timer here set to come on at 1 and it cuts out at 5. So just to kind of power save. And it's a fairly simple setup. The collector is made with aluminum eavestrough downspouts. I think it's the 3x4 or 2x3 or something. Actually, here I'll manage my way over to some of it here, if I can wiggle my way through all this stuff here. Here's actually a piece of what I use for the collector. It's aluminum. Just cut it with your zip cut wheel on a grinder. And I have them stacked all on end, a whole bunch of them, on a 4x8 sheet. It's sealed, so the air can't get to it. The outside air cannot get to it. And it's ported so that it just kind of makes a loop up, back and forth, that sort of style. And the air just slowly moves through it on the way up. It gets heated. It's all painted black. I didn't have a sheet of glass to put over it, so I just used poly. It works quite well, considering it's minus 25 out and we're pulling minus 22 plus 22 into the shop. Needs direct sunlight. If a cloud comes out, she'll cool right down. And I've recorded temperatures at the top of that thing at 108 degrees Celsius. So maybe it's a... I can't say it keeps the big furnace from running very much, but it doesn't hurt it, that's for sure. So just thought I'd pass that on there. I'm going to keep track of some more temperatures. I don't know if we're going to get much more than 22 out of it today. And you know, keeping in mind that that pipe is fairly long, I could shoot some temperatures closer to the collector itself, but it's hard to shoot this galvanized with the temperature gun. So that's why I'm using this mechanical thermostat or thermometer here. Anyway, there you have it. Just another shot here. I just walked by and noticed that I had an increase in temperature. And it looks like we're sitting at about 28 degrees Celsius now. It's only been about 15 minutes past my last video there, so it's about 4:30, and we're sitting at about 25 degrees. I had that hooked up there with a magnet and it fell and broke, so I had to remount it. Right after that last video there, that little clip I gave where the temperature shot up to almost 30, about 15 minutes after that it dropped back down to 22, and I'm not sure why, but right now we seem to be sitting around I'd say the 25 or so. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so not too bad for minus 25s outside, I believe, today. So actually not a bad little idea here. Another YouTube project here as well. All right, it's the next day. It's about I don't know, noonish, and my fan has not been programmed to kick in. We actually have wind chills outside right now, minus 40, and I just noticed here that my thermometer is at about 15. It's a little bit blurry there, but about the 15, but the fan isn't blowing it, so I'm just going to turn the fan on here because I only had it programmed to start, you know, after dinner. So I'm just going to push some more of these tabs in here, and we'll start her now at 11 o'clock. We'll see how that does. So now the fan's kicking in. We were at 15, and I am just curious to know how much that'll bring that up there. So I will, when we start to see a climb there, I don't know if we'll see one here on the camera or not. You can hardly hear that fan at all. It's pretty quiet. Trying to hold the camera as steady as I can. It does appear though that needle is moving a little bit there. Even 15 degrees is well worth blowing that air around. Keeping in mind it's minus 40 with the wind chill outside right now. They actually have a weather alert on. It's so cold out. So this is what you can extract. Thankfully the ambient temperature outside does not affect this system as long as the wind cannot get to it. The sunlight comes through and it traps the sunlight. Yeah, you can see that needle's on the rise now. Slowly but surely. Okay, I'll punch out here, and once it levels off, I'll give you a shot here. All right. It's been about I don't know, almost 10 minutes maybe, and I see it isn't really getting any higher there. But we're at about I don't know, 16, 17 degrees Celsius, and it's around dinner time, so that's well worth having the blower on, I think. So I just readjusted my timer there, and as the days are getting longer now, we're at the end of February here, the days are starting to get a little longer. So I think it's well worth adjusting. Even if I'm not in here, I do keep the heat, you know, as low as it'll go, and just to keep the shop thawed out, I guess. And why not have this going if there's practical heat out there. I do have a sheet of it's called chloroplast, I think, or corplast, and it's actually plastic cardboard. Here, I'll give you a shot of what it's like. It's this stuff right up here. It's like a cardboard material. I used it on a solar water heater, and I'll recommend that you, unless you're just looking to do a little bit of preheating, don't use this stuff. It'll only get it up to, I think, 41 degrees or something, and that's all you'll get out of it. But it's actually cardboard that's made out of plastic. It's the same structure as cardboard. But anyway, I'm getting that in clear, and it's supposed to work well. So I don't have to worry about rocks or damage that way, or anyone or any children hurting themselves if the glass were to break. So that's kind of my thoughts there. It's got to be safe for kids and stuff. So I've actually, next time I go to town, I've got a sheet of this. It's only about $30 for a sheet, an 8x4 sheet, so that's not too big of an investment for something that helps heat the shop. Okay, here's a quick look at my solar air heat exchanger. You'll see the plastic is sucked in against the exchanger, and that's the problem with it, is why you can't use poly, simply because when you turn your blower fan on, if you're sucking air, it sucks it in tight. If you're blowing, it's okay, but I find you get more air circulation if you suck on it. So you need that dead airspace in there, and when you suck on it like that, it doesn't get that dead airspace, so you actually lose temperature. You see the shadow of the Traco there hitting it there. So once we get a cleaner shot on the sun here, sun's right above the camera there, right there. So we're still approaching midday sun here. So, but anyway, that's a look at her. That's eaves trough downspout painted black, and it comes in the bottom. and it's insulated, and it works its way, weaves its way all the way up to the top, to the outlet, and then into the shop. So you seen how that plastic, that poly, was sucking in against the actual exchanger, and of course the norm there would be using a sheet of glass, but it's right on the front of my shop and it's down low, and I'm always worried about someone hurting themselves if the glass were to break. Or, you know, we have snow blowers to clean the town out, and we have graders going by, and, you know, lawnmowers whizzing. So glass is obviously not a good option. So I've heard this works well. This is called, I believe it's called corplast or something. Corplast? I don't know. It's basically plastic cardboard. You can see it's got the exact same structure as cardboard, only it's made out of plastic. This is the white one. You can't really see through it, and it's not going to be, like if I hold her up to the window there, it lets light through, but not what we're after. So you can get this in clear. So I've got a sheet ordered. Actually, it's not even ordered, it's just in stock. I just have to get into town and pick it up. And that's what I'm going to cover that instead of the poly. Lightweight, a little bit of R value. I'm sure there's got to be one or two in the R value department, I think. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Now, food for thought, that plastic, when it sucks in, that little fan that I have drawing there, you will not be able to stop that plastic from sucking in. You can put supports behind there, but there's a lot of surface area there. It's kind of like picking up a car with a vacuum. You're not going to stop that plastic sucking in very easily. So chances are this may suck in too. It's got a little bit more rigidity to it, so I may have to put a couple of little supports in behind it just to keep it from touching the exchanger. Not a big deal. If not, worst case scenario, I just have to blow with my fan. That's all it is. It's nothing to lose any sleep over. My main thing is safety. There's lots of kids that are around, so we don't want any mishaps with big sheets of glass. 8x4 sheet of glass, that's pushing the limit, I think. So anyway, that's how I'm going to rectify it, and I'll do an update when I get it on there, and we'll see how it works. And I mean, if it's a total design failure, I will definitely post something on it. But as you can see now, I mean, it does help heating the shop, and the farther north you go, obviously, the higher the heat bill gets. So it's kind of a way of life around here. But it's nice to do whatever you can, I guess, to help out any way you can, I guess. So, for now.